Question number one, what are some of the rules for protesting, such as time of day and place and the manner?
Normally, what you will do, if it's a planned protest, many times you'll have to go to the, say, municipality. Sometimes you get permits. We've had situations where people have given, like by way of example, the city of Chicago, advance notice that they're going to be going on the expressway to protest. When you give notification to the authorities, at least, they can do some planning. The individuals who, let's say, want to go on the expressway, well, the state police wanted to make sure that if they're going to do that, that they're protected.
Right.
You know, so they made some arrangements to maybe circumvent the traffic so these people are not going to get hit. But the normal situation is, for the most part, if you're going to be doing a protest, you want to make sure you're doing a protest at the time that it's going to have the right effect. I mean, if you protest at 2 o'clock in the morning and nobody's around,
What's the point of it?
it doesn't have the same effect as if you do it in the middle of the day. You're going to draw more people to either help or support the protest versus an inconvenient time for people to protest.
Let me ask you, where do you think the Black Lives Matter movement fits into kind of this larger narrative that you just described?
Well, I just wrote an article about it in the Times a couple weeks ago, and I tried to put it in an historical context because I just got all my friends at the New Yorker. I occasionally write for the New Yorker too. Jelani Cobb did a piece on Black Lives Matter, but it's all about how DeRay and Alicia hate each other, or who created. And I wrote to I can't say which editor, and I go, this is like the battle royale scene in Invisible Man. Put the black people there, and why don't you talk about its intellectual roots? What do they want to achieve intellectually? And I don't think that piece has been done. Sure, be nice if the New York Times did that.
Just saying, man.
But I believe, and the editor, brilliant editor at the Times, called me and said, my editor said, we can't find this assertion anywhere. Where's the footnote? And I said, I'm the footnote. I'm the footnote. She goes, okay, we're going to run it. And this is what I said. Precisely because of the class divide within the African American community, there is a tremendous amount of guilt. There is a tremendous amount of guilt on college campuses about these kids are very successful and they're going to be successful. And the guilt is about all the people in the hood who are left behind, and unless there is some drastic changes, both structurally and behaviorally, then those group of people are going to be exactly where their parents were socioeconomically. What is the most likely predictor of your economic outcome? Your parents' economic status, right? So if you're born in a household that is deeply deprived, chances are, unless there's government intervention and philanthropic intervention and behavioral modification, that's not going to change. So my theory is Black Lives Matter erupted precisely because of this class divide. Yeah. And I think you have to be in the race to see that and to think about it and to know that, and I said that they were carrying out Du Bois's charge to the Towers of 10. Right. And Du Bois's charge is that we're not free until we're all free. Not one of us is free
Jackie
until we're all free.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right. That he says, Jackie Robinson, of all people, you have it made. Mm-hmm. And he says, I don't have it made until every person in St. Augustine.
The idea of Black Lives Matter is always looking towards the universal through the particular struggle of African Americans, but also making the argument that if we transform American democracy on behalf of African Americans, the reverberations will impact all of us. That's how we get the Americans with Disabilities Act. That's how we get marriage equality for everyone. That's how we help people who are mentally disabled. That's how we help people who are undocumented citizens. Transforming the country is based on a universal principle, but we have to get through that universal principle through the particular struggles of African Americans in this case.
possible for millions of American families. Yes, it still is our Democratic Party that championed civil rights and voting rights. And voting rights. It's we Democrats who fully understand that when you take away a person's right to vote, you take away their ability to shape and determine their own destiny. And it was, and it is, our Democratic Party that fights for women's rights, gay rights, the LGBTQ rights,